What's up everyone? Today's video, we got the Ram 1500 SRT10 behind us and we're going to be lowering the rear. So we got John with us.
Yo, what's up? Look at my shirt. You can buy one down below. And give this video a like too.
You can buy one down below. And if you guys haven't got one, get down there and grab one. So what we're going to be doing is we have the, I'm going to mess this up, JVSP lowering blocks. So these are 3-inch blocks. And we also have the hangers for it, so or U-bolts, whatever you want to call those. Obviously this kit is used. We got it from a buddy, Chad. He has the exact same truck, which we'll probably see on this channel at some point. If you guys haven't seen the last video, we lowered the front just ever so slightly, but we haven't moved it, we haven't got an alignment, so it's probably going to settle a little bit more from what you see there. Also, we did the headlights, we did the grill, so haven't seen those videos, definitely go check them out. I'll link them above or below. You'll be able to find them there. So what we're going to do first is I'm gonna paint these black with some Rust-Oleum just so they're clean and ready to go. And if you guys aren't familiar with the setup on the axle on the back, once we get the wheels off, you guys will kind of see it. But the reason why there's blocks is because the axle is actually flipped on a Ram SRT10, meaning that the leaf springs are below the axle. So the axle actually sits above the leaf spring. A traditional vehicle, probably the axle will be below, but on this one they're above. So we're going to be putting these blocks in and we're going to be essentially raising the axle above the leaf by this amount, which is 3 inches. And here's pretty much the fender gap we have now. So technically I think we are going to be chopping this by about the 3 inches of those blocks. So like you can see the leaf springs there, the axle is above that. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully nothing fights us on this thing since these bolts haven't been moved in 15 years. So we should have some fun. Wish us luck, let's go. Okay, first things first, we're gonna get this thing up in the air, get the both wheels off, and we'll get in there. Okay, we're gonna go up, but we're not gonna go too high because we do have to support the axle. So we're gonna need to lift it with the floor jack. So I know we could technically go up, but for our own sake, we aren't gonna go too high. So let's go up. Also, this will probably simulate if you guys are doing it in your garage or maybe your driveway, you're just doing it with floor jacks, you'd probably only be about the same height. Let's go. Okay guys, so let's pull those wheels off since the truck's in the air and go on to the next step. All right, so wheels are off and I actually just put some PB Blaster on the bolts. They look pretty clean overall, but just make them a little bit easier to come off. And right now we are over here. If we can find Jonathan hiding.
Yeah.
And we got the impact gun, the infamous electric impact that we pretty much smoked when we did the rear leaf spring lowering kit on the Dakota, but she's still alive and well. Chicago Electric from Harbor Freight. And essentially, this is what I was talking about. So you can see the axle is above the leaf spring. This is a stock configuration. We haven't done anything yet. And so what's going to happen is we're going to take off these U-bolts. So these will come off and then the block will sit between the leaf spring and the axle and it'll raise this up, which will effectively lower the truck. So hopefully if all goes as planned, this won't be a nightmare. And we'll remove these 2 U-bolts. We'll put the block in. What we're going to have to do is we're going to support the axle probably with jack stands and we'll just lower the vehicle so it pushes the axle up enough for us to fit the block in. Or if the Hulk over here decides he wants to lift up the axle while I slide the block in, we'll figure it out. So
yeah. And also, before you guys start commenting, we will clean all this up, just not in this video. We just want to lower it for now.
Exactly. So we will clean up all the surface, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter, honestly, like.
It's all surface rust.
No, but what I'm starting to say too, I agree with John, but at the same time, it's like they barely put a coat of paint on these things from the factory. So, you know, this was driven a little bit, but at some point I do want to pull the bed and like, same thing we did with the Dakota, remember? We ended up like, you know, putting Rust-Oleum paint and putting a nice fresh coat. We're gonna do the same thing on this eventually. Also, we're probably gonna change the exhaust and make it a little bit louder and, you know, sound like a Viper truck. Right now it sounds like a sounds like a Prius right now. So anyways, side note, let's get to work. Thought we agreed you weren't taking it all the way off.
Oh no.
Put it on a little bit just in case we get some action. Just thread it on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so we got all 4 nuts off and now these U-bolts come off like that. So John's got the other one. Wiggle with it. Where's number 2? So that's how much shorter those ones are. I'll compare them side by side to the other ones in a minute, but that's pretty much it. You want to try your Hulk strength quickly? Don't go too crazy.
No, I don't think I can because the other side's tight.
That is true. So, yeah.
No way.
So we're gonna have to go on the other side, and we will do the same thing on that one, and then the axle should be free. That's it.
All right, so what are we doing next?
All right, so see this locating pin here and the female version of that. Well, what that is so that the axle doesn't slide back and forth on the leaf itself, and it kind of centers it. So that is pretty much fused right now at this point. So what we're gonna do is we have these jack stands underneath the axle. We're gonna lower the weight of the vehicle to raise the axle off of the leaf so that we can get these in. So next step, lower the vehicle, axle goes up.
Good, good, good. Yours is, it looks good. Good.
There we go, I broke it.
Yeah.
So if you guys saw what I did just there is I put the pry bar in there and I drove it in between the two, in between the axle and the leaf so that we could separate the two. So now they're separated. Let's go ahead and do the other side, same way, I'll show you again.
So what we're doing right now is putting some PB Blaster on the, between the leaf spring and the axle, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if it's doing too much honestly, but it can't hurt anything by trying to get a little bit of penetrant in there, just to free things up or try to work away. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to go. Ouchies! There we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go, guys. We got her free.
Woo! Now we can lift
I
it.
honestly do think that that helped a little bit because that thing is in there pretty tight, so
So use PB Blaster.
it doesn't hurt. So she's free. Now we can lower the vehicle more so we can fit those blocks in.
Let's do it. More. That should fit the block.
Guys, check out the difference in these U-bolts. So as you can see, these ones are gonna accommodate the larger block that's gonna go in there. So they're longer, stock ones, different ones, let's put them in. Okay, so we're just cleaning up our surfaces. And as you can see, I think that PV definitely helped because that was stuck in there from being in there for however many number of years and kind of some corrosion or whatever. So we're just cleaning this up. We'll hit it with a little wire brush just so that it goes in nicely on the new blocks and everything fits. And then we'll throw these blocks back in here. All right, here we go with the block. I'll slide it in, put it on that peg, and she should be pretty much lined up. I might have to push the axle a tiny bit forward, but that is it. We're gonna take the nuts off of these bolts and we'll just hang them for now, just to get them in the rough area where they should be. So obviously it's gonna go down a little bit, but we'll get them ready to go. Okay guys, so we'll go ahead and slide this block in the same way. It's gonna center itself on that post. Same deal, grab our bolt, we'll position it over the top. Now we can actually raise our vehicle to try to meet it up with there, and we'll line it up. We'll put our nuts on.
And make sure you have these two U-bolts aligned also before you tighten them.
Yeah, just keep everything straight.
Keep everything straight. Let's go.
All right, so we've got a, what is this? 3 foot bar?
Yeah.
Almost, maybe 2.5, I don't know. Anyways, we got a big breaker bar on here. This isn't really something you want to hit with the impact. I got a torque wrench on here now. It's about 149 foot-pounds from what I've researched online. So when you hear the click, we're good. So we'll keep tightening them until we get that click, which is super tight, you guys. Wow. There we go.
No.
Oh my god. Woo! Alright.
Alright, let's go home.
Seriously. This guy's complaining. He said my side, your side. Now he's complaining.
His truck, not my truck, right?
True.
Who's wrong? I don't know.
Well, since you don't know how to tighten, we're giving you a torque wrench. Make sure you tighten that stuff. So that's the deal. Watch how loose he has them. Oh! 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 Oh!
Is it supposed to?
Yeah. See, this is why things come loose when John works on it. Look how loose he had it. He said it was good. Torque spec.
I didn't know we were gonna.
Torque spec says otherwise. Oh my god, we got 8 turns out of that? Jeez. Jeez.
This is where you go back and double check.
Jeez. Bro, there. That's it.
See, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, just 10 turns. 10 turns too loose. Alright, we'll tighten up this side and then we'll be done.
It's starting to get warm.
Let's see how many turns this one is. 1.
Nah, this one's loose.
2.
Let's change to this one.
Oh, get out of here.
Alright, ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, you guys didn't see before.
6.
The one I did before, I just clicked on the second.
Oh.
There we go. 6.
Jeez. Don't let this man tighten your bolts.
I'm gonna see you for, what is it?
Hashtag, make sure it's tight. Let us know down in the comments below what hashtag we should start. We're gonna start a new meme. Hashtag, make sure it's tight. Hashtag, is it tight? Hashtag, isn't tight. How many turns this guy's got? Look, he looks like he's canoeing or something. All right, there. Okay, everything's tight now, right?
Yeah, everything should be tight.
And we are just removing the bump stops. So because we're lowering it that much, it's pretty much gonna ride on these. I think I'm gonna take these off and then for now, just so we can see the clearance, we're not driving the truck at the moment, we're still working on it. So it's not gonna be an issue at the moment, but we wanna see where it rides. I think I might see if I can order factory ones of these and then maybe just cut them. I think that'd be the nicer solution instead of drilling into the frame. So we'll take them off for now, at least so we can actually see where she's gonna ride. Like I said, if you're actually gonna drive it, you might wanna have bump stops, but for now, we'll take them off, see if I can order these. We'll cut these old ones and then we'll have new ones for if you ever wanna go back to stock, since everybody's worried about stock. So let's take that off. Old mount is off. We can put the wheels back on. Wheels going on. Oh, that's like how it was riding before without even any weight on it. Should be good. We'll throw a couple lugs on and then we'll set her down. You guys ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready. I'm not ready. There she goes. Ooh, scared. Ooh. It's not stopping. Oh. It's not stopping. Oh, yeah. Oh. She told you. It's pretty much even, actually. Check it out, guys. So there we go. That is what she looks like.
Dude, it's even.
I am happy with that. Boom. I don't need anything more than that. I think the front still has some settling to do, but
the bump stops.
Yeah, we still have the bump stops in the front, like I mentioned, so I think it's resting on them. But even if it isn't, if it's only gonna go a tiny bit more, that's more than enough for me at least. I think that looks clean. Look at the back though. The back looks like it should look, doesn't it? What do you think?
It looks way better now. Compared to how it was before, there was like a freaking gap this big.
I know.
Like my Jeep.
She's looking good now. Woo-wee, look at that. Just stuffed in there. It was like made for a 24.
That's how they should come.
Right? All right, guys. So I'm recording this outro just a few days after we actually lowered the truck. So it's been pretty busy the last few days. And I'm loving how the look of this truck is coming along. Like I said, I haven't even moved the truck whatsoever. I haven't turned the wheels, haven't driven it out. It's still sitting there. So I assume and anticipate that the front is gonna lower just ever so slightly. If it's not, we will get it sitting a little bit better. Right now it's almost pretty well even, I would say. I don't want it to have that Cali lean, but at the same time, these wheels are a lower offset, meaning the wheels stick out further from the actual hub. So you can see that the wheels are pretty well aligned with the body. So reason why I'm mentioning that is because if we get into a situation where we bottom the front or the back out, we don't want it to smash into the fender. I like this look, but you just have to be careful with exactly what I'm saying. So if you were to have this all the way turned out, you went up an incline, it could, you could technically rip the fender off or, you know, dig into the fender. So just be aware of that. I'm gonna make sure that that's not gonna be an issue, but something to consider if you do something like this. So the stock wheels would be a lot further in on the body, so you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about it. But when you go with a custom wheel or an aftermarket wheel, this becomes a factor. So just keep that in mind. That's something that I am also keeping in mind for the build. But we still have a lot more to go on the truck to get it where I want. You're gonna probably see these emblems change here this week. Not necessarily coming off, but we're gonna do something with them, and same with the front. But guys, I am loving the way this is coming out. As far as the Viper, I have some content coming for you guys this week. We have the big brake upgrade coming this week. I'm just waiting for Stop Tech stainless steel brake lines. I'm missing the ones from the back, so those are coming. So we'll have some Viper content for you and a lot of stuff coming, you guys. I'm super excited. I also am playing with the idea of getting something a little bit different for the channel, and maybe ultimately this channel is about going fast and having fun and racing. It's not, I know it's been that way for quite some time as far as just being and working in the garage, but for myself, my own sanity, for my enjoyment out of this whole thing, and hopefully yours, we need to go to the racetrack, we need to get out there, and we need to at least be going fast. To do that with a Dakota is going to cost a ton of this. And I'm not saying we're not gonna do it, but I wanna get out there, and I don't wanna always just be working on stuff and not, you know, testing it and competing it against other people and individuals. So I'm tossing around some ideas. One is to get a truck that's actually usable. This truck is a useless truck in the sense of towing and whatnot, so is the Dakota. I'm toying with getting a truck that would be capable of towing one of our race vehicles to the track and maybe pulling some vehicles off the road and, you know, moving some finances around that way. The other way is to get something that is reliable enough and fast enough to get to the track, get to some events. I am gonna make this happen for 2020, where I want to get to some of these different events that are in Florida and Texas and these different YouTube call out events. So that is what my goal is. So I'm just letting you guys, I'm gonna make a completely separate video on this, but I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts here on the end of this video. That is the goal for this year, is to get out to some of those events. So whether that's getting a newer vehicle that's fast and we modify so that we can drive across the country, and I'll vlog and take this camera with me and take you guys along for the ride, and we will, you know, film, edit, and upload from across the country. That would be the ultimate goal for 2020. So hope you guys are with me on that. Drop me what your guys' opinion is on that down below. Share these videos, you guys. Make sure you give them a thumbs up. Share them on, you know, whether it's Facebook or wherever you guys are hanging out. Share them with your friends. The more we share these videos and the channel, I can make what I just said happen if we can get this channel pumping. So thanks for your support, and everybody that's joined the memberships, bought merchandise, supported this channel from day one. I'll talk more about this later, but thanks again for watching, you guys. We'll see you on the next video. We got a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow's video should be taking this to some car shows. So lots of stuff on the way, guys. Thanks. See you on the next one.